The theory that I had from the beginning was correct. That basically Trump's like, I like that document. It's nice. It's signed by Kim Jong-un. He and I are friends.
So your legal defense in this case would be, because you're a lawyer, I'm not, but you are a lawyer, would be that, like, he just likes shiny things? Trump likes shiny things? Your Honor, I just hope you know that my client, he does love a shiny thing or two. You know, I could pull my keys out right now. Whoa, hold on. Have you submitted the keys into evidence? Well, I will after. Yes, yeah. We're just gonna shine some keys here and see what happens. Let me get the best. All right.
The men and women of the United States intelligence community and our armed forces dedicate their lives to protecting our nation and its people. Our laws that protect national defense information are critical to the safety and security of the United States, and they must be enforced. Violations of those laws put our country at risk. Adherence to the rule of law is a bedrock principle of the Department of Justice, and our nation's commitment to the rule of law sets an example for the world.
Oh my God.
We have one set of laws in this country, and they apply to everyone. Applying those laws, collecting facts, that's what determines the outcome of an investigation. Nothing more and nothing less. The prosecutors in my office are among the most talented and experienced in the Department of Justice. They have investigated this case hewing to the highest ethical standards, and they will continue to do so as this case proceeds. It's very important for me to note that the defendants in this case must be presumed innocent until proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt in a court of law.
Sure.
To that end, my office will seek a speedy trial in this matter, consistent with the public interest and the rights of the accused. We very much look forward to presenting our case to a jury of citizens in the Southern District of Florida. In conclusion, I would like to thank the dedicated public servants of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, with whom my office is conducting this investigation and who work tirelessly every day upholding the rule of law in our country. I'm deeply proud to stand shoulder to shoulder with them. Thank you very much.
You've just been watching U.S. Special Counsel Jack Smith describe some of the federal charges against former President Donald Trump. In brief remarks there, he laid out the national security argument behind his office's decision to pursue these charges and said also he promises a speedy trial ahead. Let's bring in now Jamil Jaffer. He's a law professor at George.
Remember to manage expectations. Oh, my expectations are nil. I have zero. I do not think that he's going to be facing any prison time for any of this. No. Come on. He's like, he's the summit, the zenith of privilege. You don't get much more privilege, right? I'm not even talking about the cishet shit or the white stuff. The president of the United States. It's like, yeah, like, even if things really go down, there's still that other option where Joe Biden could just be like, you know, for the healing of the nation, we gotta let this one go. Yeah, we gotta let this one go. Don't worry, my friends. There's others though. There's a whole bunch of others. You know, what about the Stormy Daniels one? You know, there's nothing the president can do about that. That one has to keep on going. But yeah, no, I'm not sitting back here and thinking like, yes, this justice will be served. The American way will be upheld. That no man, regardless of how powerful they are, even the president of the United States, will face nah. Nah, it's not how this works, you see. Nah, it's just whatever. Yeah.
District Court in Miami. Help us understand why the prosecutor in this case, the special counsel, decided to bring these charges in Florida as opposed to bringing them in Washington, D.C., where judges, as I understand it, have far more experience dealing with matters of classified documents and high-level security matters.
That's right, Jeff. So the legal experts that I've spoken to in the last 24 hours, including right before special counsel Jack Smith came on to deliver that statement, have told me that essentially this is being brought in Florida because of the fact that it is about the retention of these documents. And even though they were removed.
Trump telling someone not to stand so close to classified documents because they don't have clearance is maybe the funniest admission of guilt in the history of America, and also crime. Don't stand close to this. Very classified, top secret.
Moved from Washington conclusion
Oh,
of
that's
what
funny.
we have learned about this investigation.
Trump praised attorney for deleting Hillary Clinton's 30,000 emails, indictment shows. He did a great job, Donald Trump said of the lawyer who claimed to delete the emails from former Secretary of State's private servers. Wow. Donald Trump praised an attorney who deleted 30,000 Hillary Clinton emails, according to a newly unsealed indictment from special counsel Jack Smith. As candidate and president, Mr. Trump repeatedly called for his 2016 presidential opponent to be locked up after she was found to have been extremely careless using her private email server for official communications, especially for ordering pizza. Privately, he joked about how her lawyers had done a great job deleting the emails and, in his telling, protecting her from scrutiny, according to the indictment. So it was just all a lie? Are you serious? It's like everyone lives two lives, you know? We all have the lives that we show to the world. We put on our gram. We put on the TikTok. But then we have our real lives behind the screen. What will yours reveal? To be honest, probably none of y'all are as bad as Trump.
This is significant in scope and
I hope.
gravity to
If
use
so, don't
Special
watch
Counsel
me. You're in the
Smith's
wrong
words
channel.
just now. That's what stands out about this here. 37 counts against Mr. Trump, another count against one of his aides. That aide is the same one who was reported to have been seen moving boxes on security footage that the FBI obtained from Mar-a-Lago. So this isn't just one or two incidents.
Watch the aide be the only one who actually faces any kind of like criminal charges, like criminal prosecution, I should say. Watch the aide go down. It's like, oh, it was the aide all along, you know? Justice is served. No one is above the law, not even aides.
This is not just in supporting the former president, but in attacking the Department of Justice. Speaking to, texting with a Democratic leadership person in the last few minutes, they're saying they're worried about this moment. They think that's dangerous, these attacks on the Department of Justice. But talking to another Republican who has endorsed President Trump for re-election, telling me they're still trying to get their hands around this. They're skeptical, but they are wondering, why exactly did the former president still keep these documents?
In the minute and a half we have left, let's bring in Renato Mariotti. He's a former assistant U.S. attorney from the Northern District of Illinois. It's great to have you here. And Renato, I imagine you've had time to read through this indictment. Give us a sense of the narrative that this indictment stitches together, and what stands out from you from this menu of charges.
Well, I think what stands out to me is the fact that there is a narrative here about very serious classified information, the way in which candidate Trump claimed to take classification seriously, claimed to take keeping defense information secret seriously, did the same when he was in office, but ultimately veered in a direction where he not only willfully retained this info, but was desperate to keep it. I think what really stands out to me are the text messages, as well as the conversations he had with his attorney and the attorney's notes, revealing, I think it's fair to say, a criminal state of mind, an obstructive state of mind, trying to obstruct the investigation. At one point, he suggests telling the Justice Department that they don't have documents when, of course, they do. He praises another attorney who talked about destroying documents. That's not the way we expect a president to be talking.
So the indictment accuses former U.S. president of risking U.S. national security, foreign relations, safety to the U.S. military, and intelligence gathering. Those all sound pretty fucking serious. I mean, I'm no lawyer, but those sound pretty intense. His office will seek a speedy trial in the Trump case. Smith delivered a short statement where he described the U.S. Department of Justice, prosecutors working the case as working in the highest ethical standards. He said it's very important to him that defendants with this case must be presumed innocent according to law. To that end, my office will seek a speedy trial in this matter. Okay. Yeah, I should check out what he's doing on Truth Social. Sorry, Trump, Truth Social. He released another fucking embarrassing 4-minute video. He doesn't have it anymore. I gotta be honest. So what does he say? Oh yeah, he is truthing. He's truthing. Biden moved his boxes all over the place, including to Chinatown and up to his lawyer's office in Boston. Why isn't deranged Jack Smith looking at that? Also, I supplied them openly and without question security tape from Mar-a-Lago. I have nothing to hide, nor do I now. Nobody said I wasn't allowed to look at personal records that I brought with me from the White House. There's nothing wrong with that. Biden had records for years, totally unsecured, even stolen with them. Like this whole, oh man, this is going to be the entirety of it, like all the time, like just over and over and over again. This is all we're going to hear about. Totally unsecured, even stolen when he was a senator. This is just crazy. Just like Jack Smith, Lisa Monaco, and the man they sent to the DA's office, Matt Colangelo. It isn't America anymore. Under the Presidential Records Act, I'm allowed to do this. Under the Clinton Sox case, the decision is clear. There was no crime, except for that the Department of Justice and the FBI have been doing this against me for years. This is the man who caused the lowest learner catastrophe with the IRS. He even went to the evangelicals and Great Americans for Faith. The United States had to apologize and pay major damages for what this deranged lunatic did. He had unanimous loss in the Supreme Court. His wife is a Trump hater, Justice Trump hater, a deranged psycho. Wow. Of course they're going to be going after him. I've just learned that the thugs from the Department of Injustice will be indicting a wonderful man. Like, he's still like, okay, so he doesn't have the same energy as before. What the fuck is this?
Here's a question for you. Just how far are the radical left and inside the Beltway bandits willing to go?
What does the radical left have to do with this one? This is the fucking head of the FBI that you appointed, sir. This is the radical you. It's the radical Trump. You can't go after fucking AOC. Look what AOC and Michael Moore did to me. Michael Moore planned this for the... No one remembers Michael Moore. This is such a fucking like a boomer reference at this point. A whole bunch of people are gonna be like, that's the Bullying for Columbine guy, right? He made the documentaries or something. He won the Academy Award or something. I can't remember. Either way, he's coming after Trump. He's coming after all of them.
We all know they hate him for winning the fight to protect life, for exposing.
He saved us from the dead babies. You fucking cowards. You cowards. He saved you all from the ghost babies. He saved you all from dead babies, and all of a sudden, you're turning on him? The deep state is all too real. You know what? I 100% predict that the Trump crowd is going to start using this against DeSantis. That DeSantis is fucking deep in with the deep state because, hey, they're not coming after him. Where's his fucking investigations? Where's all... Yeah, he's not a challenge. He works for them. He's part of the system. He's part of the system. But Trump, he's a fucking maverick. And that's why they're coming after him, because he tells the truth. Where we go one, we go all. Think about it. Think about it. It's in Revelations.
In their deep state for draining their precious swamp. And they already know he'll crush Biden.
Oh, God. Biden falls down. No, Trump never fell down.
Pack of rabid wolves. They attack. So let's impeach him. Let's get tainted radical left prosecutors to...
Radical. Some of these motherfuckers are centered and center right, including the Heritage Foundation fucking appointee that you appointed. Oh, they're so good at it, though. They really are. They're so good at spinning bullshit that they know their base will fucking eat up. Just consume, you know? It is a deep state, sir. They're all coming after you. I get it now. So Ron DeSantis, he's part of it, that little putty finger. Oh, I knew it. I knew it. I saw it.
Let's conspire with Hillary and the FBI with fake stories.
Whoa, look how they edited fucking Joe Biden's eyes. They made them completely black. They just like... It took the soul out of his eyes. They turned him into an even darker Brandon.
Stories about him. All to distract from Biden's incompetence, weakness, and money.
Whoa, Biden's like fucking Afghanistan withdrawal disaster that you started. Again, that was you, sir, Mr. Trump. You did that one, and then he finished it. Yeah, that was, yeah. And hey, I gotta give credit where credit was due. That was actually a good idea. You know, draw back the imperialism a little bit. That's good. You know, you don't need to fucking police the world. So it's good the U.S., you know, doesn't fucking spend 24 hours, you know, invading other countries, setting up a bunch of military bases, trying to maintain order over there. Very expensive. Very expensive. Not great for, you know, handling domestic issues when you've got this massive war machine that perpetually needs to be fed. So dial that back. And then, you know, you started it. Biden finished it. I would say a win for both of you, honestly.
Grabbing corruption. But here's the thing. He'll never blink. That's called having...
Wait, literally? Like you just... No, I've seen it. I've seen him blink. You can't do that. No, I've seen him blink before. He blinks. He blinks. Yeah. Hey, it's not a sign of, you know, losing your masculinity to want moisturized eyes. Is that where we're going? Is that the new thing? Is it going to be like if your eyes aren't moisturized enough, then you're a pussy? Well, then call me a fucking pussy. Pussies are fucking amazing. I love pussies. Hell yeah.
The courage of your convictions. And it's why he's...
Is it gay to blink? I don't think so.
President.
I mean, I'm not a good person to ask.
And I approve this message.
Gotta admit, that was funny. Oh no, don't autoplay. I don't want to know what autoplays on this system. on Trump's Rumble. Oh man, it's gonna be like, so have you heard about the Holocaust? And you're like, oh no, I don't need to know what Rumble's opinions are on this matter. They're gonna be deeply, deeply horrifying. Terrible, absolutely terrible. All right, is there any new revelations, or can I go back to this later? Because I have a whole thing already to do on the whole Trump indictment. I want, like, Hannity had this really funny interview, tons of copium, delicious, sweet, sweet copium. Oh yeah, so it's over? It's over. All right, let's see. CBS, what you got?
To Mar-a-Lago, I've been there not to have dinner or play golf, but as a
always
reporter,
working, right?
Well, yeah, hopefully not always. But it's a place you can easily wander around.
Yeah.
If you're there, you can kind of walk into the dining room. Trump has.
You know what's so weird? I guess just kind of being a streamer, but also someone who watches streamers and enjoys watching streamers, is that there's a bit of an honesty to the whole thing. Like you can't just do the TV shit. You can't just like not get caught in lies, because you'd have to like 100% ignore. Like I have two chats, so there's two groups of people kind of keeping me guided. Where like when I fuck up, they don't allow it. They don't tolerate it for very long. It's like, brrr. But then like when you start to watch traditional like old school media, you know, you're just like, there's something weird about it. It's like it's a little bit haunting, you know. It's a little less human because everyone has to do this kind of like, oh, thanks. No, I do enjoy the game of golf. It's fun. I like to take a metallic, sphere of a kind and hit a ball and then watch it fly. Sorry, I should have said a metallic lance, but oh my, I've misspoke. Well, let us continue.
Dinner out.
As political operative. Right. A map like that, in my experience, would come from the NGA, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, and the reason it's so highly classified is because the granular detail on that map or photograph.
After watching this much right-wing propaganda, I'm pretty sure literally everything is
the
gay.
United States government has.
I've come to that conclusion. Yes, yeah. It's been a theory, not even a working theory. I think it's starting to prove itself true.
I think you would do it. Well, I don't have a lot of time, but I would have the right to do that. I would do that. There'd be nothing wrong. Let me move on. Remember this. Yeah. This is the Presidential Records Act. I have the right to take stuff. Do you know that they ended up paying Richard Nixon, I think, $18 million for what he had? They did the Presidential Records Act. I have the right to take stuff. I have the right to look at stuff.
Oh, my God.
Joe, that's the famous interview from March 27th where Sean Hannity was trying to coach Donald Trump out of an indictment, out of implicating himself.
But he indicts himself.
Donald Trump went in again and again and again. And we'll talk to Chuck Rosenberg about this, but he keeps citing the Presidential Records Act. He did it in that CNN town hall a couple of weeks ago when he said infamously, I took what I took, saying, yes, I did take all those classified documents. He's completely wrong. He either doesn't understand the Presidential Records Act or is just lying about it. But that interview was something.
Well, he understands it. There's been testimony that he understands it extraordinarily well. He actually walked through it with several people who have testified about how much he understands the process of classification and classifying. He just, well, there's just no way, but he's just not that smart. He's really not. I mean, if he's a fascist, he's like a Hogan's Heroes, like a guard.
Oh, please, come on, you fucking capitalist libs. You don't understand fucking fascism. You are adopting all this language. Fucking, you know what sucks about this is the left is the one always sounding the alarm on all these issues, you know? When it comes to like issues concerning capitalism, concerning fucking exploitation, when it comes to like, hey, by the way, historically, there is usually a salvation of capitalism that comes in the form of fascism, and so an alternative to that could be socialism, but you know, sometimes there is obviously a descent into fascism, and in this case it is uniquely American. It's a little bit extreme and silly and extra, yeah, that's for sure, but you don't get to sit there and be like, so, you know, this is fascism on Morning Joe's, is it?
Type of fascist.
Also, wait, how many people are on screen right now? I was like, come on, by Twitch standards, this is a messy panel. This is too much.
He's just not that smart. I mean, the thing is, the guy says George.
Yeah, is Psaki allowed to enter the fray? Like, is anything you say not going to be a little bit sketchy? Because it could possibly, like, I guess you have to be extra careful, eh? Oof, man, I would not want these stakes. It's bad enough sometimes joining like fucking debate panels on Twitch where you're just like, all right, here we go. Yeah, the stakes are high. In my mind. But in this one it's like, well, I could actually implicate the president in something right now if you were to say the wrong thing. You know, you got some secrets up there. You know some shit. You worked directly with the administration, so
George Conway, like Sean Hannity is saying, I know you wouldn't commit a crime. I can commit a crime if I were to. Okay, but Mr. President, I know you wouldn't commit this crime.
Why is he getting quality? Hey, Mr. President, oh no, I know, Mr. President, you won't go to girl.
I can commit that crime if I want to. Aye. Sean Hannity says, okay, let's move on. Talk about the woke
my God.
college campuses. I mean, there is so much there going to intent, time and time again.
I only knew about one of Trump's lawyers resigned. I had that story. I didn't know two. Wow. So the news is coming in fast and furious. I had this one queued up. Just in, Trump lawyer quits as ex-president announces new legal team on classified docs case. Former President Donald Trump announced on Friday morning that he would be hiring new lawyers, to defend him in the impending federal crime case against him, or as he put it, the greatest witch hunt of all time, after they resigned on Friday morning. On True Social, he updated his followers on his legal team. I want to thank Jim Trusty and John Rowley for their work, but they were up against a very dishonest, corrupt, evil, and sick group of people, the likes of which have not been seen before. We will be announcing additional lawyers in the coming days. When will Joe Biden be indicted for his many crimes against our nation? MAGA. MAGA. I hope Eliami's not like totally right on the fact that we like could be like, not we, obviously I'm not even American, but I just mean in general, like our jubilance. Are we too excited right now because of the whole Trump indictment, or is this going to be too fast and is Trump possibly going to get crushed to see the rise of DeSantis? Like that would be a fucking oof. If this actually legitimately like turns the tides, then all of a sudden Trump like collapses in free fall. DeSantis finds a way to spin it. I still think Trump's got the teeth. I'll be honest with you. Like the fact that they're already going with the strategy of like, Trump's being attacked by the deep state, blah, blah, blah. They can easily add DeSantis to that. Like Trump's got a record now, he's got like street cred. So he's actually going to be the one who's like, he's so dangerous. He was draining the swamp so good that they came after him. His own FBI appointed fucking head came after him, signed off on the whole thing, but they did, and it's the deep state, and so that's why you have to now donate. DeSantis is also part of that. I mean, they never came after DeSantis. He's just sitting there with some pudding on his fingers and enjoying his best life.
And I say he's not smart because he said things in the CNN town hall meeting that are going to get him in legal trouble as well. Time and again, he admits the intent to commit that crime publicly in public spaces.
Well, that's absolutely right. And the best evidence that he has created, the best evidence against him is evidence that he has created by having the documents in his office, by having the documents in his home, by talking to lawyers who then try to get them.
I love that the Cordian sometimes thinks he can take on all these fucking lefties just because he's got this like, very small corner of the internet, like list of people. I don't know if you've seen it, but all day. So basically Juniper and the Cordian have been going at it. Juniper asked, why are you a pedophile? And the Cordian got very mad. And then obviously Juniper ratioed him into the sun. It was like 6,000 to like 200. And then the Cordian was coping. And he's like, you use all bots you want to try and make yourself feel better, pedo. You sure seem interested in what kids do. Interesting. You didn't answer the question. My position is to let kids express themselves. I knew I was trans at 14 years old. No one ever told me about it before that. Why do you want kids to be bullied by adults for self-expression? Is that for grooming purposes? My guy, you're getting ratioed into oblivion. You understand this clown is using bots just like Keffels does, right? It's painfully obvious. This is 204. So is all 204 there using bots? That's a lot of bots. I thought Elon got rid of the bots. Extremely concerning. This is extremely concerning. That is extremely concerning. I wish I could participate. Like, Corduan blocked me first. Those who blocked me first have thrown me out of the ring to be able to play.
To commit illegal acts and them refusing, and then a court holding that basically that there is no attorney-client privilege because of he was trying to commit criminal acts. And you're right, he's just absolutely not bright at all. He's a dope. But he is a stubborn dope, and that's the reason why he's here today. Mm-hmm. And he had every opportunity, as we've been pointing out, to give these documents back. If he had invited over to Mar-a-Lago in the middle of last year, a year ago, we would not be here today. We might not have even heard about the incident because it would have been just viewed as, oh, well, there was some misplaced documents and he gave them back. It wouldn't be a big deal.
So, Chuck Rosenberg, there's such a fog of disinformation just flowing from so many sources over the last 12 hours or so about why this happened, what happened. Oh, it's just like what Joe Biden did. No, it's not. And we can get into that.
Sorry, y'all are just too libby for me. I'm having a lib OD right now.
Indicted again.
Donald Trump has become the first president to face federal criminal charges as a grand jury in Florida indicts him over the mishandling of classified documents after leaving office. Trump is expected to surrender to authorities in Miami on Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. The indictment remains sealed. According to news accounts, Trump has been indicted on 7 charges, which could mean many, many counts. On Thursday night, Trump's attorney, Jim Trusty, appeared on CNN to discuss what he knew about the charges from the summary sheet.
It does have some language in it that suggests what the 7 charges would be. Not 100% clear that all of those are separate charges, but they basically break out from an Espionage Act charge, which is ludicrous under the facts of this case, and I can certainly explain it, and several obstruction-based type charges, and then false statement charges, which are actually, again, kind of a crazy stretch just from the facts as we know it. So there's a lot to pick at eventually from the defense side, but that appears to be the charges, and it appears to be something that will get off the ground on Tuesday.
The indictment stems from an investigation by special counsel Jack Smith, who's also probing Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election and his role in the January 6th insurrection. Trump could still face additional federal charges in those investigations. 2 months ago, Trump was also indicted in New York on 34 felony counts for falsifying business records to cover up hush money payments made to adult film star Stormy Daniels and others. The new federal charges come nearly a year after the FBI found 300 classified documents during searches of Trump's properties, including at his Mar-a-Lago estate in Florida. Part of the Justice Department's case may rely on Trump's own comments. CNN recently reported Trump had acknowledged on tape during a 2021 meeting that he had kept secret military information about Iran. According to a transcript, Trump said, quote, "Secret. This is secret information." Trump dismissed the indictment, describing it as the, quote, "boxes hoax." In a post on his social media platform, Trump wrote, quote, "I am an innocent man." The charges come at a time when the former president is running again for the White House. On Thursday, his presidential rival, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, blasted what he called the weaponization of federal law enforcement. House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said the indictment was a, quote, "dark day for the country." We're joined right now by Dennis Aftergut. He's a former federal prosecutor.
A dark day for the country, they say. So we already found out that 2 lawyers have left. That's pretty wild. Now we have a problem. Bombshell transcript shows Trump raised red flags at a meeting where he discussed classified info. Why? That meeting with people helping his former chief of staff with a book had been previously reported, but new details of Mr. Trump's specific comments appeared to demonstrate explicitly that he was aware that the materials he had taken with him from the White House included classified information. The recording is expected to be a key piece of evidence in the case against him that the special counsel Jack Smith brought this week, with 7 counts related to his profession of reams and classified material. I don't want to get like hopeful because like there is, it seems at this point, an overwhelming amount of evidence. It's just like historical precedent in this case would not be, I mean, precedent in like a legal precedent, as in just like, that's the president of the United States. I don't see him really going to jail. Mr. Trump also indicated he couldn't show the document to the people in front of him, many, if not all of whom, didn't have security clearances that would allow them to see the sensitive government material, and added, "As a president, I could have declassified them. Now I can't," according to the person briefed on the matter, who was not authorized to discuss this matter publicly. Mr. Trump then said the document was classified, and a woman in the room replied, "Now we have a problem," according to the person familiar with the recording. Oh no. Oh no. Is Trump using classified documents to flirt?
Is there any evidence that Donald Trump meant to take these documents home to Mar-a-Lago and then hand them off to Vladimir Putin under cover of darkness? You remember, those were all the rumors at the time. The rumors at the time when this broke was that he was selling off our nuclear codes to the Chinese or some such nonsense. And it turns out that was all crap. The theory that I had from the beginning was correct. That basically Trump was like, "I like that document. It's nice. It's signed by Kim Jong-un. He and I are friends."
So your legal defense in this case would be, because you're a lawyer, I'm not, but you are a lawyer, would be that like he just likes shiny things. Trump likes shiny things. Your Honor, I just hope you know that my client he does love a shiny thing or two. You know, I could pull my keys out right now. Whoa, hold on. Have you submitted the keys into evidence? Well, I will after. Yes, yeah. We're just gonna shine some keys here and see what happens. Oh my God, the best.
Get out.
Best keys.
They can't give Jughead. That was things, and so he takes them. By the way, that's not even unique to Trump. Bill Clinton really liked a lot of the stuff at the White House, and so he just took it with him when he left in 2000. You remember this? He took the cutlery in 2000 because Bill Clinton is trailer trash. But it is an amazing thing that they're now talking about prosecuting Trump over mishandling of classified documents. Is there any evidence?
So even if he just took them because he was like, oh, neat, I like this parchment. I want to have this parchment in my house. Even if that was the case, if it turns out that they were classified documents and that there was a danger of them being exposed to other people, especially if it contained sensitive material like nuclear secrets that could endanger, of course, the United States of America and its own security, well, then, yeah, that's still bad. I don't think the parchment was fine defense would work. I don't think you'd be able to just squeeze it and be like, oh, that's nice. This is a good parchment. Holy fuck. Let's see if there was anything besides the lawyer thing.
It does seem to be a concerted effort by the government to go after Donald Trump, and the trials will probably last into the presidential race itself.
That's so wild. I didn't even wrap my head around that. That there's going to be the Donald Trump trial and the Donald Trump fucking campaign. You know what sucks? That would play kind of well. I don't know. It's hard to predict because I've never heard of that happening before. Is there Americans and American historians? Is there a case not like the socialist who's doing it from jail? I'm talking about a Trump previous president of the United States who is both campaigning and going through a trial simultaneously, especially one that also lied about his last election, that is also going through a state trial for bribing a sex worker with potential public funds. I think that's unprecedented. That's a lot of new territory. It's kind of hard to, nostra surface this one, kind of figure out where this is going to go. A lot of wild cards. Too many wild cards. It's not just one wild card, it's just a series of wild cards, all just being fucking thrown into a paper shredder and then lit on fire for all to see.
How do you respond to the issue that the Speaker McCarthy is saying, and
we entered unprecedented in
Ron DeSantis
26 and haven't left. Yeah, 2016
is weaponizing law enforcement.
Fair enough. Makes sense. 2016.
I would say that is a combination of distraction and projection about what the House is doing, weaponizing the law. I would say that the concerted effort is
lawyers defending American democracy
against a serial lawbreaker. We do not have kings here. We have the rule of law.
Do have kings, but they're billionaires. Unfortunately, yeah. And he happens to be one. He happens to be at one point the most powerful billionaire. So yeah, that's just the part where I'm like, even though there's a lot here, there's a world of evidence, including him basically being on camera. We live in the digital age, smartphones, what they are. We have smart watches now. We have watches that can talk. I know it sounds like a cartoon, but that's the world in which we live. They also have cameras on them, pretty nice cameras on some of them. Oof, yeah. And so, yeah, they could take a lot of footage of this or just record audio he's a bragger. He always has been. He's a car salesman. That's what his skill is. He loves to brag. So I believe he would have created in a humble amount an abundance of fucking guilt, admonition of guilt. It's no one will do it harder and better than Trump. So yeah, but even with that, I'm not 100% convinced, Do you enjoy the Serfs but prefer not to have to use your eyeballs? Many are saying this. Well, we've got the solution for you. It's the Serf Times in podcast form, available on most major podcasting networks now. If you enjoy it, please consider leaving a good review and feedback because it really helps the show out, apparently, and it's free, just like the podcast.
Thank you kindly to our Lord and Saviors Peyton L. Just and Xander Corvus. Without you, we are nothing. And now, a shout out to our Knights of the Square Table. Amazing Flesh, Anna Loves Riley, Adrian McCarthy, DM Rivera, Doug Cady, Everything Important, Hegbard Celine, Izzy Solidarity, La Media Panza, Matthew Scarborough, Multimondi, Nettle, Omni, Peanut Butter Blonde, Political Papi, Quiet185, Rachel K, Riley and Anna, Roller Dragon, Kubi, Cernicus, Spinach Monster, Stellar Vision, Sebastian Demmel, Thomas, Trevbot EXE, Lucidry, Words Greenwood, Cheryl Alvarez, Tony Perkins, Thomas, O'Pecker, Travis McClinton, and Victoria Bell. Thank you so much. And a huge shout out to all the other people who make this entire show possible. Without you, it would not exist. If you can support us, please go to patreon.com/theserfs, and even $1 can help unlock all of the little goodies and help make this show entirely possible.